In the regular council meeting Tuesday, April 28th, 2026, 6 P.M. City Clerk, please give the roll call.
Councilman Baker,
Present.
Councilman Peugeot. Present. Councilwoman Holtzhauser. Present. Councilman Phillips. Councilman Poston.
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Here.
Councilwoman Sitton.
Present.
Councilman Wallace.
There being a quorum, I will call this meeting to order. If everybody will stand for the pledge of allegiance. Follow me with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll open the floor for any comments from the public regarding any item on this agenda. There is no corrections needed to be made. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Okay, we have a first and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. The agenda will stand as is. Next, the approval of the minutes. The chair will entertain a motion to approve March 23rd, 2026 public hearing minutes and March 23rd, 2026 regular council meeting minutes as a slate.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
We have a first and a second, or is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, the chair will now accept nominations for mayor pro tem.
Nominate Susan Fidel.
I don't feel like I have the time to do that.
I nominate Tom Phillips.
Okay, so you reject the,
Respective food decline.
okay. Okay, so any other nominations?
Can I nominate myself? Right. Do I nominate myself then?
Okay. Wait a second. Okay, so Councilman Member Phillips, Councilmember Sherman have been nominated for mayor pro tem. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. We will now proceed to a vote. Clerk, please call the roll. When your name is called, state the nominee for whom you vote for mayor pro tem.
Councilman Baker,
Phillips.
Councilwoman Peugeot.
Sherman.
Councilman Holtzhauser.
Sherman.
Councilman Phillips. Councilman Poston.
Phillips.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Myself.
Councilwoman Sitton.
Phillips.
Councilman Wallace. Three Phillips and three Sherman.
This is where the mayor has to.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you. So seeing that there is a tie, And I think the mayor will pass the vote for Phillips. And that will be for a period of 1 year. Okay, next on the agenda, I want to share the new members of our standing committees. What I did on the committees was there's 8 different 8 council people. What I did was to represent the entire city. I took one council person from each ward and made a committee. So that gave us 2 actual committees with 4 council people on each committee. The first committee consists of Emily, Alice, Linda, and Daryl. The second committee would be Woodrow, Jeremy, Susan, and John. And each of the committees are going to have, well, one committee will have 3 committees and one will have 4 committees. The first group, Emily, Alice, Linda, and Daryl, will have the Public Safety Committee, Ordinance Committee, Enterprise Committee, and Community and Employee Relations Committee. The group consisting of Woodrow, Jeremy, Susan, and John will be Housing, Health, and Senior Services Committee, Tree Commission, Economic Development Committee. And then we're also establishing a budget committee, which will be consist of 1 citizen, 2 council people, and of course the city administrator and enterprise director. Budget committee consisting of the 2 council members, 1 citizen, the city administrator, and the enterprise director. The chair will entertain a motion. That budget committee.
I'll make a motion to approve a budget committee of John Phillips, Susan Peugeot, Tanya Shepherd, Cameron Carlisle, and what? Something for you his last name.
Keller.
Keller. For the budget committee.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, the motion carries and the budget committee is established. Next is the city administrator's report.
Meeting council, Mayor. Okay, I tried to, we haven't had a regular council meeting in about a month, so I tried to dampen down how much time I was gonna stand up here and talk. I was thinking it would benefit, I could talk all day. But just so you guys don't have to listen to me for an hour. So first up is something that Mayor Haddock asked me to prepare and present. I was able to present this to the Rotary Club last Thursday. It's just a general basic overview of the city and its various different workings. Something that we agreed would be very important, just to give you guys an overview of it. I sent an email out this afternoon regarding it, and it came back to me, I would say about half an hour ago. 3 or 4 of you didn't get it delivered. I had the wrong email address. We also have Chase coming, and we've established .gov emails for all of you, so we'll get that resent back out to those. So I'm just going to run over a couple highlights. So first, the city departments. The city itself, so this won't include enterprise or the police department. It's made up of approximately 13 total departments. with the administration staff making up the license office, city clerk, city treasurer, a city collector, IT, and then maintenance and janitorial around the building. And if I went into the administrative level, there's technically a bunch of one-person departments, and that number goes up to about 20 total. But it just doesn't make sense to make a whole new department for one person. Administration property, the city itself owns City Hall, there are 7 various parks, of course, 2 cemeteries, and I'll have a section for that in a moment. And something that I know Mayor Haddock was shocked to find is the city owns approximately 100 parcels of land, give or take. And that includes, of course, our parks, our cemeteries, everything. And some of them are as small as over north of Frankfurt Road. There's a small sliver, it might be 200 square feet. A lot of them are things like that, where individuals, in the past, they couldn't come to any agreement about where the property line ended. The only agreement they could come to is that the city should get, 200 square feet. So a good portion of those pieces of property are just little slivers of land like that. Some more city departments, of course, we have the street and grounds. The property and staff out there, we have 1 full-time supervisor, 5 full-time workers, 3 part-time. We have a street workshop, of course, 9 vehicles, 4 pieces of heavy machinery, 10 pieces of large equipment, and then 73 pieces of small equipment. Now, none of that includes, of course, hand tools and various, nuts and bolts, of which there are quite literally hundreds of thousands of. Like the library, there's 1 director, her and another individual work both part-time. It is an original Carnegie Library from 1905, of course. I thought that was a cool fact. I had included into the Rotary. I expect everyone here to know that. It has approximately a 25,000 item catalog, including TV shows, movies, things like that via their app. Next, we have cemeteries, their property and staff. There's a city sexton. We have Riverview Cemetery, which is approximately 24 acres with about 17,000 graves. I've discussed this a couple times. We're at the point where we can probably it's 1,000 to 2,000 more graves in that cemetery. We'll be looking to establish possibly a 3rd cemetery in town. And then we have Memorial Gardens, of course, out on Highway D. It's about 4 acres and there's about 500 graves out there. 2 things I prepared as a general finance overview were the largest income that the city, the largest income source that the city receives, and then the largest expenditure that the city receives. So, this is going to be a 6-year overview, 2021 to 2025, and it's going to have 2026 year to date through March. So, our largest source of income for the city is the 1.5% sales tax. Together, the 1.5% sales tax, they make up a little over 50% of all of the revenue that the city generates. In that 6 years, altogether, they generated $2,889,827.95, while the rest of all the income since 2021 generated $3,823,106. And so you can see the discrepancy there is quite large. Those 2 things are the main driving force behind our revenue and why economic development, of course, is so important. So you can probably guess what the largest expenditure is in any organization. It's salaries. And I presented this I wrote this out in such a way that I hope it draws, by putting less information in it, it draws to your attention what specifically, or how much specifically that these salaries cost. So same metrics, 6 years, 2021 to 2025, and then 26 year to date. In that time, our staff salaries have been comprised full-time and part-time, $3,942,468.72. All other expenses that we've spent since 2021 has totaled at $11,065,254. So when including, and this is what I meant when I said by including less information, hopefully it, drives home just how much that we spend on these. Those are just the salaries as they are. That doesn't include any overtime, FICA, Medicare, anything extra. It's just the raw salaries. If I was to include that in this expense analysis, it would go well over 50%. So that is just the basic summary I have. Again, I make sure this is emailed to all of you. I'll be sharing it on the city Facebook page to inform the citizens of it. Everything listed in here, a detailed inventory of all the equipment that the city owns in City Hall, the street shed, and soon to be the fire department. We have detailed its condition, approximately how old it is, and just a general, status of it. I have a list of all of the liens that City Hall or that the city of Louisiana currently holds, a list of all city properties, and those are all, of course, they're ever changing. I was going to print all these out. It would have been about 50 papers per person. Instead, since these lists are so changing, I have them, rarely has them. Anytime you guys want them, please just email, call. We'll prepare them for you and we can get them to you same day. If there are no questions regarding that, that was a lot of information. I'm gonna move on. Okay. So general update, the workers' compensation audit is underway, so we're currently being audited to ensure that our salary projection for which we pay the workers' compensation was appropriate. When that's done, I will present the results to council. We placed a claim back in early March to repair the roof on City Hall. I'll be seeking bids to repair it, and I'll be presenting those to the council. Bids will go out in the paper. It's already been submitted this Friday and next Friday, I believe. And so by the next regular council meeting, I'll be prepared to present bids to fix the City Hall to hopefully stop it from leaking every time it does what it did yesterday. Finally, for the general update, our employee of the month for March is a little late because I'm about to send out the employee of the month survey for April. It was our license office manager, Angie. I will say I don't think anyone in City Hall probably works as hard as her. With how stringent the requirements are from the state with our license office, she can't simply miss a day or request off, and she has worked nearly every day, rain or shine, and I mean in terms of personal things going on, and rain or shine, she has showed up. She's done a great job, and I think there probably wasn't a more deserving person of this. So congratulations to her. Next, the street and grounds update. I had to change this morning because I had it prepared. I think I wrote it last week. It said the street paving is underway. The streets have been paved. That was essentially the entire neighborhood to the southwest of Sunset Park has been completely repaved. If the council, mayor, anyone hasn't driven over there, please do. If any of you that live over in that area, please drive over there. Even if you don't, they're really nice. So thank you to Mid River Asphalt for doing that. Up next, I have the Riverview mowing contract. So once a year, we bid out the mowing for Riverview Cemetery and for Memorial Garden. And so just to refresh the public and the council on this, a lot of people had asked, well, didn't we just buy a bunch of mowers? That's a totally fair assessment. If we mowed Riverview Cemetery and Memorial Gardens, it would just simply take so much time that we wouldn't get anything else done during the summer. The previous contract we had was with Fidencio Delegado, and him and his workers had a great system for how they weave in and out of headstones, and we're able to take care of it. And I think it takes 2 days. So they've done a great job with that. But we accepted bids for that contract for the upcoming season, and I have those ready to open to the council now. The first bid is from Fidencio Delegado. So to refresh what the specs of the bid was for mowing Memorial Gardens, for mowing Riverview Cemetery and Wallace Park. I request permission to change Wallace Park back to Memorial Gardens. There was a misunderstanding with just how easy it is for us to mow Memorial Gardens. I wasn't aware that after weather from yesterday, it essentially becomes a little pond. And we just can't get out there and mow it. But he has, not that he has different equipment or better equipment, but they're just more apt and able to take care of that for us. We did speak with him, and he didn't tell me what the bid was, but he did tell me that he would quote Wallace Park at the same rate that he would do Memorial Gardens for, should we choose to switch those two out. The bid was Riverview Cemetery for $3,300 for mowing and weed eating, and Wallace Park for $400, and this is every week. And of course, as I said, he said he would be willing to switch out Wallace Park for Memorial Gardens. We had one other bid from MT Lawn Care. It is a good amount for Riverview Cemetery, for $2,000 per occurrence, and Wallace Memorial Park for $325 per occurrence. I wasn't able to speak directly with MT Lawn Care regarding this, so I would have to have them re-quote Memorial Gardens, and I believe that would require us to go out for new bids if we did it that way. There isn't a resolution on the agenda for approving or denying this, so I'm going to leave this with council's consideration. I will ensure this email to each of you, and if you prefer a paper copy, we can get that for you. And then at the next meeting, I will recommend one, and then of course discuss with the council between now and then which one you guys would like to accept. Any questions?
What about the empty lots we have in town, you vacant mowing?
So the abatement mowing it's easily maintainable for us. As we go, say we do Wallace Park, and then we have to come and do, Henderson Park. As they drive across town, we can say, okay, we have this, and they kind of just hit it along the way. And I've worked with Charlie from the police department, where she is going to be able to essentially get us back to a system where she knows which ones need to be mowed. She brings it to me, I'll be able to take it down to the ground people, and then we should be able to get it taken care of in a much more speedy fashion. As always, if you guys see anything that needs to be done regarding mowing or whatnot, or anything really, please let me know. Citizens.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that McCoy Thompson did all of our abatement mowing last year. And I will say that when Charlie was ready to go to court, the invoices for that abatement mowing was never given to us. So we always had to request it that day. And it took more time off her hands, and she had to, sometimes she would have to hurry up and we would type those up just so she would be able to go to court because they couldn't get it to us on time. So that's just one thing.
And that was a reason why we chose to take over the abatement ourselves this year, was to avoid any logistical hassles previous year. Any other questions regarding that? Okay, the license office update. The license office was open 20 days in March, generated a total of 4,179 fees across 425 transactions. Normally, right now, I would now say library update. Since there had been so much time since the last meeting and with the library being closed yesterday, we weren't able to get that. I do apologize, and I will update for the gap between the last council meeting and the next council meeting at the next council meeting. Finally, there's a treasurer's report. I give a general overview of the treasurer's report, just regarding the total accounts and what we've taken in, what we've extended. For the members of the community, the treasurer's report amounts to probably about 25 pages. So I know a lot of people probably don't like hearing me just rattle off numbers. It could be much worse. So the treasurer's report, total revenue collections for the city as of March 2026. $405,510.49. Total city revenue collections year to date, $2,344,073.67. Total expenses for the city as of March 2026, $485,093.89. And total expenses of the city year to date, $2,279,905.30. Leading to our account balances, we have total non-restricted funds of $769,193.16 and total restricted funds of $726,889.91. Furthermore, in the treasurer's report, you'll find the city warrants, a detailed account balance breakdown. And that is all I have for the council this time. Is there any questions, or are there any questions? All right, we'll do it again in 2 weeks.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report, including the city and enterprise warrants.
Make the motion.
Okay, there's been a first and second, any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. It carries. Next, we'll have the enterprise director's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, I want to congratulate the mayor, council members for the recent election. It's a thankless job, but it's very important for the successfulness of enterprise and the city as a whole. I do want to touch on the treasurer's report for enterprise. I do want to let it be known there was a major expenditure that was just paid out of that for $299,000. That was for the basement rehab rehabilitation that we just did for the water treatment plant. So when you see that number again, it will be $299,000 less on capital improvement. I think it's $415,000 in there as when that was done in March. I provided the city, the council, the mayor and council with a City of Louisiana Enterprise annual report. Just kind of a quick, I'm going to do a quick gist of everything inside this book with a lot of information. If you open it up to the third page where it says water system operations, I kind of just wanted to go through some of this information. There's approximately 29.92 miles of water distribution mains, mains in the system. That's a large number, and some people just really don't realize how much water main there really is throughout our system. 242 fire hydrants that we flush twice a year. You can imagine at 15 minutes on average per flush. It's a lot of water that we kind of it's not wasted, but it seems to the general public would be kind of wasted. But it's for flushing our mains and maintenance of our system. And we serve roughly 3,200 customers, which is in the city of Louisiana. I also want to touch base. We sell water to Pike Rural Water. They have a booster station on Highway D, and they have one at Pike 136. And so there's a significant amount of other customers that we actually supply water to that people, even though they don't live in Louisiana, we still produce water and sell water to them. And so there's a lot larger number on that. I'm going to skip the 2 pages to the water system infrastructure. I just kind of want to touch on the system storage. So as of right now, we currently have 1.5 million gallons of water on Kentucky, on Star Hill. The address is actually 1103 Kentucky. We have 250,000 gallons on Northeast Street. So that's that ground reservoir in the cemetery, and then 350,000 gallons of water that sits underneath of our water treatment plant. At all times, we never drop below, I think it's 4 foot. We keep that always reserved for emergency, whether it's a fire or anything of that matter. Kind of going to the next page on the wastewater treatment operation. So it's a little more of a modern facility to the 4 council members and anybody else that has seen that they are toured that, right? That was able to tour that. They've kind of got an idea of just the difference in the 2 plants. That one was built 2010. I think it actually was completed 2011 ish. And then our water treatment plant was built in 2001. Going to the next page, fleet and equipment inventory. So as of right now, we have $303,325 in rolling assets. So what I do on a yearly basis is I evaluate the value of our equipment. The reason is even more so more recently with our insurance, there's no reason to have $1 million insurance policy on something that's worth $20,000 because they're only going to give you an actual cash value. So we were able to cut some of our insurance costs, things like that, by keeping this tallied up and watching our equipment. So we have the 4 Mavericks. There's 3 of them. I have one. There's one at the water plant, one at the wastewater plant. The Ford F-250, which is worth about $29,420 for field operations. And then kind of going through there, I won't read it all, but we could get into a little bit older equipment, some that we're probably in the near future should be looking to upgrade and kind of take care of those issues with that. Moving on to the next page, the financial performance. So 3-year revenue and expenditure analysis. So I did it for fiscal year 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. You can kind of see the top number was the expenditures, the bottom number was revenue. Major financial metrics that we have, personnel costs, we average about $557,073 just in regular time salaries. That's spread through 13 employees, and I'll be getting to that here soon. Insurance costs, United Healthcare and MoPerm, we run about 223,679. So you can kind of see just between those two, that's a pretty good chunk of our revenue sources. I'm going to skip the next page. I kept all of this for you guys to review. I know there's a lot of information to go over tonight. I'll skip that page, the 2026 key achievements. I'll kind of touch that water treatment plant, which I was just talking about, the $299,000. We did that. Completely rehab that basement. So if you were able to tour that facility also, you can see the condition it's in, the progress. I also meant to get pictures. I want to provide those pictures, past and present pictures, show the difference in the improvements that we did, and I will get those together. Going on to the next page, you can kind of see infrastructure age, 2001 water treatment plant facility, or 29.19 miles of aging distribution mains. With over the past 10 years, I will say we've done a large chunk of water main replacements, things like that, upgrades to our infrastructure. And more so in the last few years, we've done a lot of upgrades to the water treatment plant, wastewater, whether it was equipment or the building itself, things like that. I'm gonna skip the next page. And then I'm gonna go, I've included a enterprise organizational chart, so it just kind of shows going from the city council to the mayor to myself, and then it has all of the information underneath of that branching off. So you can kind of see the operators, chief operators for the wastewater plant, water and the water plant, some contact information, things like that. We kind of want to keep everybody to where everybody knows who's, what's going on, things like that. You can kind of see that's the 13 employees that we have under enterprise, and then directly underneath their names, you will see the level of certifications they have. So, A level, B level, DS3. Those are the DSs are distribution licenses, and then your A and B will be water and wastewater licenses. So you can see that each one of our supervisors or chief operators have the proper certifications, and that's all stuff you can look up on DNR's operator lookup search. Going to the next page, I think this is important to share and always keep with us. So it's an enterprise debt schedule. So this is currently all of the debt that enterprise has. This is the when the payments are due, how much the payments are when they're finished, when they're paid off, things like that. The first page, if you look, I wanted to point this out so everybody's aware. About top middle, that there's a bold word, it says Series 2021 water. So that is our series, that is the Georgia Street water infrastructure upgrade that we did for the water. That was the water main that we laid from 4th Street to 23rd Street underneath the sidewalks, and then all associated costs of that service lines, things like that. That's what this particular debt schedule is. The next one is the 2021 sewer, and that is for Georgia Street also. And you can kind of see that those are going all the way to 2033, and there's some large payments that we pay yearly.
Is this the same range for 23rd Street?
Yes, that's correct. The next page is LT2. So that was the UV system and some basement rehab work that we did on the water treatment plant. If I'm correct, that was finished in 17 or 18. If I remember correctly. And I have to verify that. But that is the pay structure on that LT2. The next page is I&I. So that's inflow and infiltration. Currently, the four council members that were able to tour the water treatment plant, they saw that plant almost at its worst state. And the reason I say that is because as the floodwaters are coming up, we are constantly taking water in on manholes that are in the flood zones, things like that. And this inflow, this I&I that's what that is. That addresses those issues. If you can see, we're approaching our last payment on that, and then we'll be able to start putting our money back into those things like that. And the last page is the SRF 2022 UMB. That's the wastewater treatment plant. I know it's kind of small, but I want to keep it on the same page. And that is the payment schedule for that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to. I'll answer anything that we're doing on that at any time. I know it's a lot of information, but I'm where you take it home and look at it later. Going on, I provided everybody kind of a rough, or not rough, but a quick gist of what's going on amongst the water treatment plant, wastewater distribution systems. There's some good information. There is something that that when Cameron was speaking that I did want to kind of touch on. He was talking about the workman's comp. I do want it to be known, it was supposed to be addressed to the council at the last council meeting. We had a 20% reduction in our workman's comp premium. The reason for that is there was a class code premium due to class codes being corrected. So the treasurer was able to correct some class codes and cut some costs there. And then I'm going to take this one for myself. Last July, June and July, I know there was some council members was questioning some safety things. So one thing that I immediately did right after that is we started a safety program. Every Wednesday in the field, they spend the first 30 minutes of the day going through safety stuff. They sign sheets, and that was a big factor in that 20% reduction on our workman's comp. Going to the water treatment plant basement rehabilitation, just kind of touch back on that. The project's completed. The final payment was made for the amount of $299,000. You will see that on the next report you get for treasury report. The raw water and clear well upgrades, both of those have been scheduled or ordered. We're waiting for the equipment to get delivered, and then they're going to come and install all that, get all that installed at the intake in the water treatment plant. At the wastewater plant, so we're still having some HVAC issues, and our roof needs to replace. We went out for bids once. We only had one company submit a bid, so we're going to put the request for bids back out, and we're going to push them out farther out of town. We try to keep as local as we could, but we just didn't have a good turnout, and feasibly the costs were significantly higher, so we need more of a selection to choose before we make that decision. Distribution. So last year the council approved $87,500 for meters. We actually only spent $52,000, so we got roughly $30,000. We haven't bought them. What we have at the shop, and we rebuilt some things. We're using them before we spend any more money. Going down to under distribution to street repairs. I'm sure everybody's aware the 18th Street on Georgia has been patched. They did almost an immaculate. Can't even tell there was a major water main right there. It's just how it floats right all over it. Additional street patches. So we're able to do patching ourselves in-house. We have been doing that. Friday, it was Thursday or Friday, we did 4 or 5 patches. And you'll notice if you're going down the street, you'll see where they're coning them off and digging holes and prepping them to patch ourselves. The sewer replacement on South 5th Street, so that sewer was installed and it's completed. It was actually, they were hoping to have it completed and patched today, but due to the weather yesterday, they had to get their other stuff done, so they actually started on that today and we'll have it finished tomorrow. We're planning on to do a water main replacement on North 10th Street here soon. We've got most of the materials to do that self, so won't be much of cost to get that completed. And we have a lot of leaks on that galvanized line, so we're gonna be completely doing away with it in a new water main. There is something big that I want to talk about, our lead service inventory. So we were supposed to get that report back the first week in December of 2025. We got that report back in our possession March 30th. It is a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of pictures. There's a lot of information. It's very in depth. I have went through it. We're starting to generate the letters that we have to mail out. So anytime there was an unknown confirmed lead or galvanized requiring a replacement, we have to send notification out to citizens, letting them know that there's got confirmed lead or it's unknown, things like that. I will say, as of right now, it only appears that there's roughly 60 services that we need to be worried about. So we have 10 years to do that. So if we were to do, roughly 6 a year, we would be perfectly fine. We did the outcome and the report back was, I was very pleased and happy with that report back. And once I'm able to go through that more, I'll provide more information. It's just a lot all at once. So another thing I want to touch on all facilities, I'll be meeting with the Missouri Rural Water Association. They're going to be doing an energy efficiency assessment program on us. It's a free service because we're members of the Missouri Rural Water Association. So they're going to come in, they're going to go through the last 12 months of our electric bills. They're going to tour the facilities. They're going to take note on everything. Then they will compile a huge report and give that back to us. I think it's all I have for enterprise.
Right, move right into
Yeah.
the fire chief's report.
So just a few department updates with the fire department. We just recently held a class that was taught by Burlington Northern. We had that class at our firehouse. It was open to all the departments in the county. It's very beneficial for us because if you're not aware, we have the most railroads and crossings in Pike County. We have in the 16, 17. There's a lot of crossings. The whole back south side of town and then the east side, and they're just everywhere. So when we had that, it was very beneficial to all the members. Roughly a month ago, I acquired some SCBA packs, bottles, and masks for the fire department from Lynn Fire Protection District. I was on the Department of Fire Safety, and they do donations and things like that. So I found these and immediately the next day sent a truck to go pick them up. There was roughly $27,000 that we got donated to the fire department. There was 21 packs, 27 masks, and I think 42 bottles. About 2.5 years ago, we bought 4 packs, 4 bottles, and 4 masks, and it cost us $13,000. So this was huge for us. All we had to do was drive to Lynn, Missouri, and pick them up. And so this was able to equip every one of our trucks with SCBA packs and update that quite a bit. Medical calls, we had 14 medical calls over the last month, 13 fires, and 2 special events.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
All right, next question. We'll move on to the police chief report.
Mayor, Councilman, welcome. Appreciate all the new faces and new ideas. Look forward to meeting with all of you. If you all have any ideas or anything that you'd like to touch base with about, see me at any time or give me a call. I'll dive right into it. For the month of March, the police department had a total of 244 calls for service, and officers conducted 51 traffic stops during the month with 27 citations issued. And in your list, there's kind of a breakdown of the larger, categories of calls. I wanted to give you all an update on the Missouri Blue Shield grant. For those of you that don't know, we were awarded $50,000 to use in this budget year, and we were utilizing that for Axon body cameras and the Flock license plate readers. We've been fully reimbursed for the Axon body worn cameras in the amount of $17,810.64. We were able to secure a discount on that through Axon. It was originally slated for the full $20,000. And so we were able to get a sub award in there and we put our last patrol car that did not have an MDT with an MDT and printer off the remaining funds. Once the last block camera is installed next week, we'll be able to submit it and be fully reimbursed for everything of $50,000.
Excuse me, Chief. For those who don't know, maybe you can explain what the block license plate reader is. I think
So we have all the entrances and exits of town secured with flock cameras. What they do is they simply read the plate and they do send alerts if there's either a stolen plate, stolen vehicle, wanted person that's attached to it. And one of the biggest benefits to our citizens and business owners is that if there's a theft that occurs at say 2 o'clock in the morning, on a night, and we've got a vehicle description, we can go back and search through that camera system and be able to, identify them and give us possible leads to help us identify, who perpetrated that. So that's, yes. But those of you that don't know, we've already been awarded the Blue Shield grant, the Blue Shield status again for the upcoming year as well. So we'll look at further things that we can, do to enhance our patrol stuff then. Community engagement and outreach. April is Autism Awareness Month, and our department received an anonymous donation of autism awareness patches, which I'm currently wearing. Those were purchased for us by that anonymous donor, and they were presented to us by the children at the Judavine Center. And also on April 15th, officers visited with Head Start, engaged with the children there. As far as technology and transparency things, we have ordered GPS tracking units for all patrol vehicles that will be installed upon arrival. Those will enhance transparency, operational efficiency, and accountability. Also, in my report, I included, I won't go over here, save everybody a little bit of time, but a little bit of history on what we've been through as a police department, rebuilding it since the days of the Jones era and everything that happened there. So just to give you guys kind of a backstory there. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Next would be committee reports, since we just now established committee for everybody from point having a report. Is there any old business? Since we're brand new, I doubt that we have any old business. Next, we have 2 resolutions on the floor. Just for you guys in the gallery, these resolutions basically is both of them are to take the past mayor's name off the Visa credit card and then add the city administrator and the enterprise director. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 11-206, requesting a change in designated person for access to the city of Louisiana Visa card, credit card issued by People's Bank and Trust.
Make a motion to resolution number 11/2026 to remove Tim Carter on the city of Louisiana Visa credit card and to put Cameron Carlisle on the city administrator as the authorizing officer for the city of Louisiana Visa credit card.
Been moved
Second.
and second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed?
Aren't we supposed to have at least one reading of the resolution?
I don't believe we have to on that.
On it is, okay.
Okay, resolution 12-2026, the chair will entertain a motion to approve resolution 12-2026, requesting the change in designated person for access to the city of Louisiana Enterprise Visa credit card issued by People's Bank and Trust.
I'll make a Motion to accept the resolution 12/2026 to remove Tim Carter as the authorizing officer for the City of Louisiana Enterprise Visa Credit Card and to add Quentin Keller, Enterprise Director, as the authorizing officer for the City of Louisiana Enterprise Visa Credit.
And so moved. And seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed? Motion is accepted. Next on the agenda is I'll open the floor for any comments from the public on any of the discussed items during this meeting. Baker?
I'd like to know how many hours are on that new street sweeper and how it's performed.
I can get a report for that and I'll put it on the city website and I'll present it to the next council meeting.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything? Okay, media clarification. Is there any media clarification? That being none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a first.
Okay.
All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, oh yes. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.